My name is Danny Ochoa, and I'm from Mesa, Arizona. I oversee the judging for lowrider events and Motorsport showcase. I've been into lowriding for over 40 years. I've been the head judge for lowrider for approximately 30 years, and I've seen a lot of cars come and go through the show scene. So super nice cars. We're here in Long Beach, California today. There's a lot of nice rides out there. A lot of clubs representing, some individuals. There's some families out here. The Tovars are out here representing. The Albas are out here representing. Some big clubs, Majestics, High Class. A lot of nice cars out there. So once you get a chance to see the cars, you'll get to enjoy what we're gonna enjoy here tomorrow. I've been into lowriding for a long time, and started out, I'm from Society Car Club in Mesa, Arizona. I've been a member of Society for over 40 years. We started a show back in Mesa many years ago, and I was part of that judging team at that time. And then the owner of Lowrider magazine, Alberto Lopez, came to our show and he asked, hey, who's doing the judging for this show? So my brother Richard introduced me to Alberto, and we started a friendship and a business relationship back then. And I've been across the country and seen lowriders here and there, far and near, and enjoyed every minute of it. It's a very challenging job, but I've got to meet a lot of interesting people, and it's just so exciting. And I'm happy to be a part of it. The way the judging works, we have a team that's comprised of individuals from across the country, and we bring these individuals in that have experience building cars and judging. And most importantly, they know what they're looking for when they judge cars. We have a point system that we use, and it's a predetermined point system. And the judges are looking at every area of the car: the engine compartment, the undercarriage, the paint, the interior, the bodywork, all the chrome moldings, glass. Every part of the vehicle is inspected by the judge and given points for each area. So the first thing that a judge does is he will look at a vehicle, determine the number of modifications based on our rule book that we have, and then place that vehicle into a class. Then he'll walk around the vehicle, look underneath it, look in all the areas of being scored, and award a point or a point in the point system according to that area. Once those points are given to the whole vehicle, then they're tabulated, and then first place, second place, and third place is determined based on the outcome of the number. Then after that, we give class awards, but then after that, we look at outstanding awards, like, for example, outstanding paint, outstanding interior. We're seeing a lot of really intricate hydraulic setups now. So we're given special awards for outstanding hydraulics. But there's a lot of different areas that some vehicles may score extremely well in a lot of areas, but there's just something outstanding about a part of that car, for example, a paint. And we want to award that car owner. It doesn't mean it's the best paint, because judging is all perspective. Judges look at a car and everyone has a different opinion, but it is something where we want to give an award to someone for having an outstanding area on their car. So we do give about 15 to 16 special awards at each show, depending on the promoter. Ultimately, there's a top vehicle of the show, and there's cars, there's trucks. We have bomb cars, bomb trucks. We've created traditional class. We have a new classic lowrider class, because everybody builds their cars different, and that's the way it should be. Individuals should build the cars the way they want, to their style. It's all about being happy and cruising your ride and having fun and building it the way you want it. But at the end of the day, there is a top car at each show, and there's monetary prizes awarded. So we not only give an award like a trophy, but there's also money that's given. So these judges take a lot of time, and they invest their efforts in looking into what's a good quality paint, what's a nice interior, what hydraulics work, do they not work, is it built with just parts that you buy at the hydraulic shop, or is it something that's been custom made? The technology now that we're seeing on these cars is it's at a different level. 20 years ago, I wouldn't imagine that we see some of the cars that we see today with the high-tech parts and accessories that they have. So it's a never-ending growing sport, and it's fun to be a part of. A little bit more about the point system. Some of the cars that are winners at a particular show. For example, today tomorrow there is going to be a best car in show, and that car owner qualifies as a winner for that area at other future events. The tour that we do, and there's 12 shows this year, and in a minute I'll tell you a little bit more about where those shows are. But there's 12 shows that are planned this year, with the grand finale being in Las Vegas. So anybody that takes their car and qualifies as one of the top best of show winners qualifies for that Las Vegas show. And then at the end of the year, they can qualify to become the champion or the title holder for a certain area. For example, best truck or best car, best bomb. And these owners build their cars based on the point system. Some of them do, so they can compete at this show at the end of the year and be the top dog or champion at the end of the year. I think some of the most exciting things that I like to see coming to these shows, and it's like I said, it gets better every year. Some of the paint schemes that we see, there's some outstanding paint jobs out there. And I know there's a lot of work involved, not only to get the body, correct and perfectly straight, but the paint schemes and the designs some of these painters have, they're artists. And they put it onto the vehicle, and you look at it and you stand away, and it's amazing. It's like going into an art museum and seeing a piece of art. It's artistry. The upholstery work that we're seeing now, it's at a different level. I see some hydraulics, like I mentioned earlier. The hydraulic setups are outstanding, and a lot of them, they work in addition to looking as good as they look. But I think ultimately the one thing that catches my eye is a paint, and that's, you can't take that away from some of these painters that take a lot of time to apply their artwork to a vehicle. And then for the owner to drive that car down the street or put it on a show floor and put some lights on it, it just amplifies the detail work, and it's pretty cool to see. I think the toughest part of the job is, obviously, there's people that are gonna go home happy, and there's people that are gonna go home unhappy. Every owner should be proud of their vehicle. And as I mentioned earlier, every judge, it's all perspective. The judges aren't computers that are spitting out numbers. It's their personal opinion on what they see. And I've seen some cars do very well at one show and then maybe not so well at another show. So the judge may see something different that he didn't see at the last show versus he saw at the next show. Or he may see something at the next show that, he asks himself, maybe I didn't even notice that at the last show. So it's all the way the owner displays the vehicle. Do they have lighting on the vehicle to show all the areas that are, looking really nice? The toughest part, I think, is not giving a first place trophy to everyone. Everyone deserves a trophy, and it'd be nice to give first place trophies to everyone. But in reality, it's like the Super Bowl. There's always a winner. There has to be a winner. And you can't go home giving 2 first place trophies to the Super Bowl winner. So we do the same here at the shows. And that's the toughest part, is seeing people be unhappy. I'd like to talk a little bit about the judging team. There's 10 judges that we use, and they're from across the country, and we come together as a team. Each judge that comes in to help us, they're passionate about what they do, and we take a lot of pride in the work that we do, and we've been working real hard to be the team that we have. We've had guys that have worked with us for 3-4 years, but we have guys that have worked with us for 30 years. So the team kind of meshes together, and again, we take pride in what we do. We want to be fair. We don't take sides and favorites of car clubs or family members or individuals that we know. We just try to be fair, and the vehicles speak for themselves. The point system that we have in place, you know, at the end of the day, the vehicle will score points based on the way the owner builds it. And the owners know their flaws. The judges catch those flaws sometimes. Not all the time, but they catch them sometimes. So they have to take that score sheet and reflect those numbers with the flaws that they see. But for the most part, the vehicles that are out there are beautiful cars. And some of these builders are doing an outstanding job on detail. And we're seeing things that, you know, there's cars out there that you really don't even want to drive them on the road because they're so detailed, and the paints or the interiors or the undercarriage look so nice that you really don't want to take it on the roadway. The rule book that we have in place, these vehicles have to be operable. They do have to drive, and it's a car. It's a car or a truck or a vehicle that must move and drive on the road. So that's one of our rules, and we inspect these cars to make sure that they do drive. But again, the judges take pride in what they do, and we take pride as a team in doing a good job. There's times where we make a call and we may second guess ourselves afterwards, but we're pretty confident that the vehicles speak for themselves. And if we do find where we made an error, we want to correct it. And that's the most important thing, is the owners know that if we try to correct something and it's for their benefit, we'll try to do that. Sometimes those corrections don't come out in favor of someone, and someone's upset. But again, we try to be fair and do the best job that we can. I'd like to talk a little bit about the tour that we have coming up. Obviously, we are in Long Beach, California to start the tour off. There's 12 shows this year leading up to Las Vegas. And the next stop that we have is in a couple of weeks in San Antonio, Texas. We are going out to Tampa, Florida, Houston, Texas, Albuquerque, New Mexico. Then we head out to Portland, Oregon, San Francisco, California, Scottsdale, Arizona, Atlanta, Georgia, Colorado Springs, Colorado, and then we finish up the tour in Las Vegas in September. And if you go to the lowriderexperience.com website, you can see the exact dates and times for these shows. All of these shows are sanctioned events that will qualify exhibitors for the Las Vegas Super Show. We're looking forward to it. It's always the biggest show of the year. And we want to make sure that all these people that are coming to these shows have a good time. I know what it's like to have a good time at a car show. I have my own car. I have a 1964 Chevy Impala. It's called Caliente 64. I've owned that car for about 38 years, and I've restored it 3 times. The first time I restored it all original, took it to shows. I did very well. I enjoyed the car, but all my friends and the club members had hydraulics and they had candy paints, and I like that. At the time, I probably should have left that car alone, bought another car and did it, but I customized my 64, put a candy apple paint job on there, added hydraulics, a little bit of chrome in the engine. Had that car for about 8 or 9 years, and then the third time I restored it or customized it, I went all out with the custom paint, custom interior, pretty much redid the car from top to bottom. And I love driving it. When I go to a show and I take my car, it's fun, and I like driving it. I like going to shows, so I know that experience for these guys. When they come to a show, they want to be treated great and have a good time. So I know what it's about, and I just want everybody to have a good time. We're all in this together, and there's plenty of these shows, lowrider shows, other promoter shows. There's plenty to go around for us to all have a good time and enjoy the sport.